Good afternoon, students. We are going to show the Clausius equality. It's a famous equation in thermodynamics, and from there, a few steps away, we'll also show what is Clausius inequality. Okay, and let us write this inequality. Okay, let us start with this, and then let me write it like this, and then we'll show. So first, I have written inequality, but anyway, for a reversible cycle, Clausius equality says del q by t, the cyclic integral is equal to 0. This is what is Clausius equality, and less than 0 will be Clausius inequality. Anyway, we are coming to that. So we first of all consider a reversible cycle. If it is a reversible cycle, then it can be put on the property diagram. So let's assume that it's on the PV diagram and the cycle is like this and the process direction is like this. Okay. So this is a reversible cycle going in this manner. What we do now, we put a number of reversible adiabatics here. How many numbers? Let's say about n numbers, so that this is divided into probably n minus 1 number of compartments, something like that. Okay, or n number of compartments, whatever. So some number of compartments hardly matters, because if n is a very large number, whether n minus n tends to infinity, then n minus 1 also will tend to infinity, n plus 1 also will tend to infinity, doesn't matter. Okay, so n we have taken, n is a very large number, and we consider one representative such diagram ABCD, which I can call another cycle, because this has been divided into many number of cycles. So this is one cycle, we may say, this is another cycle, we may say, etc., etc. Okay, so this particular cycle we are taking, assume that the distance AB is very small and distance CD is also very small. Now let me take the cycle ABCD in the same order, ABCDA. So that means AB, then BC, then CD, then DA. Okay, this way I am taking the cycle. Now if I try to say that AB is an isothermal, you will not agree. If I also like to say DC is an isothermal, you will not agree. But if the distance between A and B is vanishingly small, then the temperature at A and B will be same. Similarly, the temperature between D and C also will be same. Under that condition, let us say that the heat interaction here into the cycle or into the system is del Q H I at a temperature THI. Why this H? You see, I am assuming that in this top portion the temperatures are higher, and this top in the bottom portion the temperatures will be lower. So, and also my thought will be corroborated by the fact is ABCD is a Carnot cycle. Why so? Because AB is an isothermal, CD is an isothermal, this is an adiabatic, this is an adiabatic. There is no harm in calling ABCD an isothermal, is a Carnot cycle. Okay, provided of course AB is an isothermal and CD is an isothermal. That we are assuming that since the distance is very small, so that can be done. So if that is so, this is the heat interaction here. Similarly, the heat interaction here will be at a lower temperature. So let's say this is del Q L I at a temperature TLI. Okay. Now as far as the Carnot cycle is concerned, normally the way we try to say is that if it is in this direction, then positive work output comes out of the cycle. That case, heat is allowed to pass along the process A to B, and heat is allowed to go out of the system along the path C to D. So we have to understand that del QLi is basically negative. Is it clear? But we have tried to follow the notation that at the point whatever is the direction of the heat, we will denote it by delta QH or delta QL, whatever. Okay, so that way if I take ABCD as a Carnot cycle, then the efficiency of this cycle for this particular ABCD, A I have put extra in order to emphasize. So the efficiency is 1 minus del Q L I by del Q H I. Will this be negative or will there be a positive sign? It will be a positive sign because del QL itself is negative. Okay, and we also know that there is a correlation that efficiency can be written as 1 minus TLI divided by THI. Okay, so now from here this one and this one will get cancelled, so this one plus this one is equal to 0, or del QLI by del QHI plus TLI divided by THI, this is equal to 0, and after little manipulation I can write it as this going here divided by this and this going here divided by this, and I write del QH first TH plus del QL by TL, and the suffix I put here, this is equal to 0. So similarly for all other this kind of Carnot cycles, everything will be 0. So I can write sigma summation del Q H by TH plus del Q L by TL. I is varying from 1 to n is equal to 0. Okay, and if this A and B, this distance is reduced to very small, vanishingly small, then this sigma summation will be replaced by an indication sign. It's very simple. And whether it is H, whether it is L, it doesn't matter. It always it has to be only the heat interaction divided by the temperature. Heat interaction divided by the temperature. The sign doesn't matter. Doesn't matter means sign will automatically come. So this whole thing will finally be replaced by del Q by T is equal to 0. Is that clear? So remember, this is valid for a reversible cycle. So this is for a reversible cycle. So a few steps away, I'll just show for what will happen if any of the path is irreversible. Say this I have taken again on the PV diagram, this cycle, this is the direction. In the previous way I have divided into number of compartments, and where this A, B, C, D I take, then this AB path I delete and instead I join it by some irreversible path. So A to B is joined by an irreversible path. So for all other compartments, the sigma summation of del Q by T will be equal to 0. What will happen for the compartment ABCD, let us say? So along the path AB, there will be heat interaction. Along the path AB, there will be heat interaction del Q H, say J, comma TH J, and along CD it is del Q L J, and this is TL J. I have deliberately chosen J because in the previous case I had taken it as I, so I have taken it as J. Now you see what will happen. The efficiency of this cycle will be written as 1 plus del Q L J divided by del Q H J. Remember, the path AB is irreversible, so the heat transfer del Q H J is irreversible. Okay, this is the efficiency of the cycle. Had the path AB been reversible, then what would have been the efficiency? Efficiency would have been eta rev would have been equal to 1 minus TL J by TH J. Now it's very easy to understand, eta reversible will be larger than this. So 1 plus this quantity, 1 minus this quantity must be larger than this quantity. So del Q L J divided by del Q H I is less than minus TLJ by TJ. From there we can write del Q L J divided by divided by del Q H J okay is plus T L J divided by TH J is less than 0. Very simple. But remember, this is a negative quantity. Okay, dealing with this will be little difficult because this is an inequality, so better not touch this. So what we do, I divide everything by TLJ and multiply everything by del QHJ. So this quantity is positive, this quantity is also positive, so multiplication divisions are not anything problematic. So from there we find del QL by TL J plus del QH by del Q H J is less than 0. So it shows that sigma summation del Q by T del QH by TH plus del QL by TL J equal to 1 to n must be less than 0. See, we have taken only one particular Carnot cycle ABCD to be irreversible. It is possible that the other cycles may also be reversible if some of the paths are irreversible, etc. Even if they are not, other things are reversible, then also this will hold good. Or in other words, finally we can write what we can write: sigma summation of del Q by T. Del Q by T is less than 0 for an irreversible cycle. Okay, so this is Clausius, it's not Clausius inequality. Okay, let us try to combine this one and the previous one, this one. They can be in a combined manner, can be written as cyclic integral of del Q by T, cyclic integral of del Q by T is less than or equal to 0. So this means del Q by T cyclic integral is equal to 0. If it is so, then the cycle is reversible. Okay, if cyclic integral of del q by t is less than 0, the cycle is irreversible. And if somebody demands that del q by t, somebody claims is greater than equal to 0, then we should say that such a thing is not possible, it is impossible. Okay, so this is what is Clausius inequality. I hope you have understood in a very simple manner. Okay, thank you.